I got home from work around 6:40 p.m. Everything looked normal when I pulled into the driveway. The porch light hadn't come on, but that happens sometimes. Sensors glitchy. I live alone in a small, older house. One hallway, one bedroom, tiny kitchen, quiet neighborhood, safe. Nothing dramatic. I carried in 2 bags of groceries, one in each hand. Didn't notice anything off until I stepped inside. The door stuck a little when I closed it. That was the first thing. It never sticks. Not even when it rains. But I had to press it shut harder than usual. Not enough to question it, just enough to notice. I took my shoes off and set the bags on the counter. My cat didn't come out to greet me. That was the second thing. She always does. Every single day. Hops down from the windowsill when she hears the keys. Rubs against my leg. Meows like she hasn't seen me in a year. But she wasn't there. I called her name once, casually. No response. I checked the window. Empty. I checked the bedroom. Empty. Then, I found her under the bed. Flat to the floor. Eyes wide. Not asleep. Not injured. Just frozen, like something had scared her badly enough that she forgot how to move. I reached for her. She backed deeper under, tail down. That was when I noticed the sound. Not loud. Just a shift in the air, like someone exhaling in the next room and stopping halfway. I stood still for a full minute. No creaks, no doors. Just that weird silence that isn't really silence, the kind that follows something important you missed by 1 second. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself maybe she'd knocked something over and scared herself. I went back to the kitchen. That's when I saw the front door was unlocked. Not ajar. Not wide open. Just undone. The deadbolt I always slide into place without thinking now retracted. That was the third thing. My stomach dropped. I walked back slowly. Locked it again. Turned and leaned my ear against the wood. No footsteps. No breathing. No movement. But the air behind me felt wrong now. Colder, not by degrees. By temperature, I could feel in my teeth. I walked the house, one slow lap. Living room, bathroom, bedroom, all clear. But the hallway light buzzed. It flickered once. I tapped the switch. It stopped. As I passed the mirror in the hallway, I saw something strange in the reflection. A shape near the ceiling. Not big, just wide enough that the angle looked warped. When I turned around, nothing there. The reflection didn't match. It kept showing the shape even when I faced it directly. I covered the mirror with a towel. Later, I checked my phone. No calls. One photo in the camera roll I didn't take. Pitch black, time-stamped at 4:12 p.m. I was still at work then. I held the phone up to the same angle. The photo matched my living room, only from lower than I would ever hold it. Like someone had been lying on the floor, looking up at the couch. I deleted it. Then I locked every door, every window. I checked the attic hatch, still sealed. I checked the crawl space. Latch untouched. I fed the cat. She didn't come out. I went to bed around midnight. Left the hall light on. Just in case. At 3:11 a.m., I woke up. Not from a sound. Not from a dream. From the sense that something was already looking at me. I couldn't place where the feeling came from. But the room felt occupied. The hallway light had gone out. I sat up and listened. Then I heard it. Movement from the kitchen. Not walking. Dragging. Something soft against tile. I froze. The sound stopped. I got up and opened the bedroom door. Nothing there. The kitchen was empty. The living room dark. Then I noticed something on the floor. White powder. Thin lines. Like something had been dragged across flour. I followed them with my phone flashlight. They led to the coat closet. A place too small to fit anything larger than a folded umbrella. I opened it. Empty. No footprints. No sign of dust. But behind the coats, something had shifted. A panel I had never touched before, slightly ajar. Inside it, wires, old ones, and a folded piece of paper. On it, a circle drawn in pencil. Inside the circle, a handprint. 5 fingers, one longer than the rest. The lines were smudged, repeated, like someone had drawn it over and over. At the bottom, one line of text. I never left. I didn't sleep after that. I stood in the hallway, holding the paper from the closet with both hands, like it would start moving if I looked away. The handprint was wrong, not just in shape, in repetition. It wasn't drawn once. It had been traced over again and again, dozens of times, like the act of marking it was more important than the result. The fingertip lines were pressed so deep they'd torn the paper. I threw it away. I turned every light on in the house. The cat didn't come out all night. Around 4:40 a.m., the bathroom mirror fogged over. I hadn't used the water. I checked the sink. Dry. The toilet hadn't flushed. The pipes were still. But the mirror fogged and stayed that way, like someone had breathed onto it and then stood there, waiting. By morning, I felt like I'd been watched for hours. The rooms didn't look wrong. The walls weren't crooked, but the shadows fell in places they never had before. Corners felt tighter. Doors stuck slightly when I opened them. The hallway echoed more than it should have. The feeling wasn't that something was in the house. The feeling was that something had always been there, and I was only now starting to see it. That night, I heard the walls breathe. Not loudly, just once. I was brushing my teeth when the hallway behind me made a sound, a soft, full inhale, like the house had drawn something in. I stepped into the living room. The television had turned on, just static. Volume low, remote untouched. I unplugged it. It didn't turn off. The screen stayed lit for 2 full minutes before blinking black. I checked every outlet, every breaker. Everything worked. Everything was wrong. That's when I started marking things. I placed salt lines at the base of every door. I put a glass of water in each room and checked the surface each hour for ripples. If something was moving through the house, even if I couldn't see it, I'd feel the vibrations. Nothing changed for 2 days. Until Thursday night. The bedroom glass cracked clean down the center. No spill. No sound. Just a perfect fracture, like a hairline split made from the inside out. That night, I locked myself in the bedroom, taped the door, moved a dresser in front of it, set up my phone to record again. I fell asleep around 2 a.m. I woke up at 3:18, 1 minute before the hallway light always went out. This time, it didn't. It flickered, then pulsed, and something pressed against the other side of the bedroom door. Not a knock, a slow, firm push. I felt the wood bend forward. Once, then nothing. The light steadied. When I opened the phone the next morning, the recording was gone. The camera app opened, but it had never saved the file. Instead, a new photo was in the gallery. The image was of my bedroom, but from the ceiling looking down. The angle was impossible. No camera had been mounted there. It showed me sleeping, the blankets pulled high, and something beside me under the sheets. A shape, not human, not animal. Just an impression, long and lean, like something had curled beside me and gone completely still. The pillow was slightly sunken on that side. I left the house that day, stayed at a friend's for a week. When I came back, nothing had changed, but the air smelled faintly of dust and sweat, like a room after someone's been in it too long. I cleaned everything, moved furniture, shook out cushions, cleared every closet. In the hallway, I opened the attic hatch. Nothing came out. But as I climbed the ladder and looked up, I felt something watching me from below. Not from the house. From the walls. I don't think it entered. I think it was always here. The paper I found in the closet, the one with the handprint, showed up again yesterday, folded under my pillow. Same marks. Same message. I never left. But now, beneath the handprint, a new one has been added. Slightly smaller. An inch below. Like something has been learning how to write in my size.